Moving on, Birdman, Stunner Man, Rich Gang. You guys already know, man. The whole Patreon's named after Birdman. We fuck with Birdman on this side. Birdman is literally the guy that I need to get on the podcast. He's in my top 20 list. He's just a genius, man. Genius, all about the money, stays low, and has molded a lot of artists into the legends that they are today, man. He wouldn't be relevant still to this day and still having one of the biggest labels if he was stupid and didn't know what to do. Think about it. You know how many artists have come with labels and they've had hot moments and then fell off? You can name 90 million labels. Bad Boy, Rockefeller, G-Unit, Dipset, Rough Riders, all these labels, man. All these labels eventually fell off, not hot anymore, and everybody moved on. But what stayed relevant till this day? Cash Money, Young Money. So you mentioned that. A lot of people know what it is. I'm sure Birdman's going to find that new star pretty soon here. I don't know if there's never been a full confirmation of NBA YoungBoy signed with them, but Birdman's always been close to NBA YoungBoy. So Birdman said something crazy, though. This was insane. This I don't believe, and there's a reason why I don't believe it, because tickets would have to be insanely high to be generating this type of money. But I can see, I can see why Birdman says this. So let's go over the article. Birdman is confident that his Young Money, Cash Money alumni Drake, Nicki, and Lil Wayne could command $20 million a show if they banded together. $20 million a show. Drake right now broke the record for raking in $5 million for one show. I'm sure Lil Wayne could demand $1 million to $2 million a show, maybe $2 million a show. Let's throw it there. And I'm sure Nicki Minaj could demand $1 million to $2 million a show. But combined $20 million, that would mean they would each have to pull. Let's just say Drake, right? Since he's the hottest out of all of them. Let's just say Drake pulled in 10 to 15, most of the weight. Let's say he pulled in $12 million. That would mean Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj would each have to pull in another $4 million each per show. That's not happening, Birdman. As much as I know you love your artists, I know you're backing them, all that, it ain't fucking happening. $20 million a show. Let's just say, they do $20 million a show. What's the math on it? Let's say each ticket's $300. Let's say let's just say they fill up a fucking stadium with 50,000 people. So let's see, 50,000 people at $300 a pop. You're pulling in $15 million that night at $300 a pop. If you're filling out a 50,000 people stadium, fucking, I don't know which one's bigger, stadium or arena, because I think it's stadium, honestly. While stadiums are typically bigger in scale due to their vast event space, arenas often host more intimate events with spectators closer to the action. Stadiums are usually outdoor, while arenas are typically indoor values. Is arena smaller than stadium? U.S. Stadiums are primarily used for outdoor sports, while arenas can accommodate both indoor and other events. Stadiums tend to have larger capacities and can accommodate larger crowds. So, yeah. Let's just say stadiums, obviously, so I was right the first time. So stadium, let's just say they do 50,000 people at $300 a pop. They're generating $15 million. That's possible. I could see that. But you'd have to pack in 50,000 people every show. I don't know who's doing that, honestly. It's pretty hard to do that. Drake's probably doing that. Let's see. Okay, so the one that he generated $5 million, he filled in about 20,000 seats, 20 to 22,000 seats. That's Drake. But you have to think, Lil Wayne, Drake, and Nicki Minaj each have their own fan base, but they also have a combined fan base where, someone who's a fan of Drake is also a fan of Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne because they started up. Well, they didn't start together. Lil Wayne didn't start with them together, but they all, were under the same label, umbrella, all that. So some fans kind of collide with each other, but there are some new fans that come in from each different artist. So I don't know. Selling out 50,000 people per night. Let's just say the tickets. Let's say it's not 50,000 people. Let's say they do 25,000 people, and let's say each ticket is $450. Let's just say that 25,000. That's $11.2 million. Let's say tickets are 500 at 25,000. That's about 12.5. Yeah, so I don't see where Birdman's getting these numbers unless the tickets are unless they fill out 50,000, stadiums every night, or they're charging a lot of fucking money per ticket and filling out 20,000. They're not going to, there's no way you do 20 million a show. And that's not net. I think Birdman's just talking about, what they gross. That's definitely not net. They're not netting that shit. Let's play the clip. Let's see what Birdman's talking about here. He be tripping sometimes. Birdman is stunning Gang Island.
So with Nicki and Drake, that shit about $15-20 million a show.
It's a lot of money on the table.
Big facts. A lot of it.
Yeah.
$4-5 million a show.
Shit. Yeah, I'm going. Shit, I know most of the lyrics. I'm going. I'm going.
We've been offered like $4-5 million per show. Man, that's without Drake and Nicki.
So Birdman's saying Lil Wayne got offered $4 to $5 million per show. But is that Lil Wayne in his prime, or is that Lil Wayne right now? I doubt Lil Wayne is bringing in $4 to $5 million, because Drake right now is still quote unquote in his prime, and he just did $5 million a show. I don't think Lil Wayne's pulling in $5 million a show, and to do like a tour and constantly generate that's not gonna happen. I don't believe Birdman on that. I could see them doing $10 million a show, maybe 12 to, if you're pushing it, 15 million, like Birdman said. He said 15 to 20 million. I could see maybe 15 million, maybe. But that's even pushing it. I think they would do 10 million. 10 million, maybe 12 million. 12 max, in my opinion. Because Nicki Minaj is not generating, there's no disrespect to her, but she's not generating no 3 million a show, 4 million a show, 5 million a show. She's not. That's just the reality of it. Drake, like I said, he's proved it. Lil Wayne could probably do 3, 4. But that was Lil Wayne in his prime. I'm sure Lil Wayne in his prime could do, I could generate 4 to 5 million a show. But like I said, they're not, that's gross, which would be crazy. So Birdman, I remember Birdman a while ago. He also revealed that he gave $1.4 billion. He got a 1.4. Boasts about dividing $1.4 billion between Drake, Lil Wayne, and Nicki Minaj. That was back in 2021. $1.4 billion. So yeah, Birdman's about the money, man. I think he could make it happen. I don't think they could do 15 to 20, but I think they could do a cool 12 million a show, which is insane. That's still a lot of money. I would go to the concert. So that would be cool to see. I think a good gauge of this would be, when Drake and Lil Wayne did the Versus concert, they had like this kind of Versus where they would compete before the whole, Swizz Beatz Versus. Like, this is way before that. They did like, they would compete on tracks, and they did a tour together. That would be a good gauge, because Drake right there was probably, you could say, just in his prime, and Lil Wayne was kind of like leaving his prime. So that would be a good gauge. So if Birdman has the numbers on that, and you add Nicki Minaj to that, I could see, that would be a good gauge to see where the money would come from and how much it would be. So, yeah, Birdman out here, doing his regular thing. You know how Birdman is, supporting his artists. Shout out to Birdman, Stunning Man, Gang, Rich Gang.